Hey, what's up everybody? Average Sniper here. So the developers have decided to cancel or at least suspend the release of the Dragunov, which is the new gun, on the next live server update. We'll get into the reason for this as soon as you smack that like button. Alright, here we go. I'm going to put the link to this news update in the video description. Shout out to my friend Helion Prime for sending this to me this morning. And I'm just going to read off directly what the update says, and then I will give it a little discussion. So here we go. Sit back, relax, enjoy the gameplay in the background, and let's find out why they are suspending the release of the Dragunov on the next live server update. Here we go. Hello, players. Today, we are here to reach out and connect with our global community of fans to address certain aspects of the recently released Update 25.1 and the feedback you have shared. Further, we wish to propose a new initiative that will weave your invaluable feedback and suggestions into the game development process. In Patch Notes Update 25.1, we presented Dragunov, an innovative firearm featuring a unique probabilistic damage system. Following this announcement, we've monitored your responses and carefully analyzed the test server data. Considering your feedback and the concerns brought to light, we've made the decision to suspend the release of Dragunov on the live server. Our primary motive behind introducing Dragunov was to enrich gameplay variety and add an element of delightful unpredictability. However, we wholeheartedly recognize that our players are the ones who must adapt to these updates and that such modifications can substantially alter the core gameplay that we collectively treasure. Furthermore, we acknowledge that the probabilistic damage system introduced by Dragunov creates variables beyond players' control, possibly deviating from the intended gameplay experience. Not only that, your comments on the performance of the AUG, as conveyed in our recent dev letter, have been noted. We concur there is room for more immediate player engagement beyond our conventional approach to updates, announcements, community monitoring, and feedback collection, as we agree that each update could potentially profoundly influence gameplay experience. Thus, with all these in mind, we are ready to go beyond our internal dialogues and testing processes by integrating your feedback directly into our development process. We aim to establish a more thorough player validation and feedback mechanism during content creation and rollout. In accordance with our commitment to nurturing a more intimate connection with our community, we're preparing to launch a survey concerning modifications to Dragunov and AUG. Alright, so the link for the survey is in the video description, or it's in the article, and the article is in the video description. And let me just finish reading the last few paragraphs. Today we are introducing this proposal as an innovative approach to foster a more engaged relationship with our community. Our goal is to move beyond conventional update surveys and to delve deeper into your thoughts and ideas, fostering an exchange that we can translate into tangible improvements within the game. Our initial step will be to gather feedback on specific aspects of gunplay and subsequently announce the results through a more direct communication method and apply these changes to the game. We acknowledge that not all of our players will be able to participate in this survey. However, we assure you that we will continue to closely monitor global communities beyond the survey with an aim to ensure that every player's voice is heard. This is our initial venture into such a method of communication, and while there may be room for improvements, we are optimistic that if this initiative proves to be beneficial for our game environment and community, we will actively incorporate this communication approach for further updates. Thank you. Very professionally worded message from the PUBG development team, if I do say so myself, and I do. So basically, as far as the Dragunov is concerned, here's something that I didn't realize about it, and this is why they are suspending it. The Dragunov would have been the first gun in PUBG to introduce probabilistic damage, which means it is no longer based on skill, it is based on luck. You can have perfect aim and shoot somebody and you might get a kill shot that does a huge amount of damage, or you might get a shot that does minimal damage. I think this is a very bad thing for PUBG because the game is based on skill. Okay, as far as the shooting goes, the game is based on skill. We already have a huge aspect of luck in the form of the final circles, pushing you out into the open, and that can really determine the winner of the game. There is enough luck involved in Battle Royale. We do not need to add variable damage to guns, where one headshot might get less damage than another headshot from the same gun, from the same position, from the same distance. We do not need that. All right, there's enough luck in the game. The rest of it needs to be based on player experience and skill. So it seems like the community basically said this to PUBG and responded to the Dragunov on the test server and said this does not belong in this game. Maybe there are certain video games out there where variable damage will work, but PUBG is not one of them. And I agree with that. And for maybe the first time in history, it seems like the PUBG developers are actually listening to the feedback and saying maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to F up the game like we did when we put radar in, which completely changed the way solos were played. It changed the way all the modes were played, but especially solos. Introducing the Dragunov into the game would just be ridiculous. I mean, just imagine this, okay? Imagine you're doing really good, you make it to the top 5, and somebody shoots you in the chest with the Dragunov, and for some reason it does 100 damage and kills you with one shot. Like, what? Nobody wants that, right? I mean, maybe a very small percentage of people want to hit some lucky shots, but you got to put yourself on the other end of that spectrum, okay? You don't want to be the one getting hit by a lucky shot in the arm that does 100 damage. I don't know if that would actually happen, but that's basically how variable damage works. You might get a kill shot, you might get a crappy shot. And I can compare this to the M24, because even though the M24 doesn't have variable damage, if you hit somebody in the arm with it, the damage is very weak. I have had to hit people 3 times with the M24 to get a kill before, and that could happen with the Dragunov as well. It could either be super OP or it could be super weak. Imagine that you get down to a 1v1, you've survived the whole match, you use your Dragunov to try and kill the last guy, you shoot him 3 times and he doesn't die because the variable damage decided to give you 30 points per hit instead of 35. So the 3 shots you got normally would be a kill, but they aren't because the variable damage model just said, we're just going to randomly give you low damage on these shots instead of high damage. Okay, nobody wants that. That should have been your win. You got really 3 good hits on the chest, even through a level 3 armor with a DMR at medium range. That should be the end. You should have won. But that would not be the case with the Dragunov. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't, and that is the problem. It's based on luck. So I'm really good that they're backpedaling on this and they're not going to release it to live servers. It will be nice to have a new gun, but I don't want a new broken gun. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Don't forget to smack that like button, and I will see you on the next video or the next live stream. Bye!